Dumping. Dumping is a trade practice in which a company exports a product to a foreign country at a price lower than the price it charges in its domestic market, or even below its cost of production. This is done with the intention of gaining market share in the importing country, sometimes harming local companies. Characteristics of dumping. Export price lower than the price in the exporting country's domestic market. It can be temporary or a sustained strategy. It seeks to eliminate or reduce local competition. It can cause harm to the importing country's domestic industries. Advantages of dumping, from the consumer's perspective. Access to cheaper products. Greater variety of products on the market. Disadvantages of dumping. It harms local businesses, which cannot compete with low prices. It can lead to the closure of domestic businesses. In the long term, it can reduce innovation and quality in the market. How to counteract it? Countries can apply anti-dumping measures, which involve imposing additional tariffs or duties on imported products that are found to be selling at dumped prices. This helps level the playing field for local businesses. What is anti-dumping? It is a legal measure taken by governments to protect their domestic industries from unfair trade practices, such as dumping. When dumping is detected, an anti-dumping tariff can be imposed to offset the price difference and prevent imports from harming the local economy. Examples of dumping around the world. 1. Steel industry, China. China has been accused of exporting steel at prices below production costs, which has affected the steel industries of other countries. For example, in 2016, the European Union applied anti-dumping measures against steel imports from China to protect its domestic manufacturers. 2. Solar panels, China. In the 2010s, Chinese companies flooded the market with solar panels at very low prices, thanks to state subsidies. This led the United States International Trade Commission, ITC, to impose anti-dumping duties on solar panel imports from China to protect local manufacturers. 3. Textiles, Bangladesh. Bangladeshi exporting companies have sold clothing at extremely low prices in European and American markets, thanks to low labor costs in their home country. Although not always considered predatory dumping, this practice affects local producers in recipient countries. 4. Agriculture, Mexico and the United States. Following the implementation of the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, it was argued that U.S. agricultural products, such as corn and wheat, were being sold at prices below their production costs, causing harm to Mexican agriculture. 5. Automobiles, Japan and the United States. In the 1980s, Japanese automakers were accused of selling their vehicles below their production costs in the U.S. market, leading to trade tensions and protectionist measures by the U.S. government. 6. Oil sucker rods, Argentina, Brazil, and Mexico. In 2020, the Canadian International Trade Tribunal opened an investigation to determine whether Argentina, Brazil, or Mexico engaged in dumping of sucker rods used in the oil industry, which could harm local production in Canada.